Michio Kaku just made a statement that should terrify every single person on this planet. And NASA, they're staying silent. But here's the thing. Silence isn't always golden. Sometimes it's deadly. Right now, at this very moment, something is happening in space that nobody wants to talk about. That mysterious interstellar object we've been tracking, 3I/Atlas, isn't just passing through anymore. It's preparing for something, and what it's preparing for might be the end of life as we know it. You see, 3 weeks ago, everything changed. Atlas went from being a cosmic curiosity to becoming what experts are now calling an active threat. Its energy output tripled, not gradually, but explosively. We're talking a 340% increase in just 21 days. To put that in perspective, imagine your phone battery suddenly lasting 3 times longer overnight. Sounds great, right? Except Atlas isn't a phone. It's a massive alien object, and it's powering up for something big. But that's just the appetizer. The main course is that Atlas has been scanning Earth, not like a scientist observing bacteria under a microscope, but more like a sniper identifying targets through a scope. Every major city, every military base, every nuclear silo. It knows where we keep our weapons, it knows where we sleep, and it's been cataloging everything with surgical precision. Oh, and those 12 smaller objects it released aren't debris, and they're not probes. They've positioned themselves around Earth in a perfect geometric pattern that military strategists would instantly recognize. It's called a weapons grid, and we're inside it. So, buckle up, because what you're about to hear will either prepare you for what's coming or make you wish you'd never clicked on this video. Either way, you need to know because the countdown has already started and we've got maybe 3 weeks before whatever Atlas is building up to goes live. Let's start with the elephant in the room, that massive energy surge. 3 weeks ago, Atlas was humming along at a steady power output. High sure, but consistent. Scientists were monitoring it, taking notes, probably sipping coffee, and thinking, interesting anomaly. Then, without warning, the numbers started climbing fast. First, a 50% jump got some attention, then it doubled, and now people were paying attention. But here's where it gets crazy. The increase didn't stop, it didn't even slow down, it accelerated. We're now looking at 340% above baseline, and the rate of increase is still climbing. This isn't a power-up, this is a full-scale system activation. Think about it this way. You know how your laptop gets warm when you're running heavy software because it's drawing more power? Now, imagine that laptop suddenly drawing 3 times the electricity, getting hot enough to fry eggs on. You'd unplug it immediately because you'd know something's wrong, right? Well, we can't unplug Atlas, and it's doing exactly that, except on a scale that makes nuclear power plants look like AA batteries. Here's what makes this truly disturbing. The energy isn't spreading evenly across the object. It's concentrating in 3 specific areas, and each one tells a story that gets progressively worse. Area 1 is the propulsion systems. Whatever engines Atlas has, they're charging up not for a leisurely cruise, but for rapid acceleration or aggressive maneuvering, the kind of moves you'd make for strategic purposes. Area 2, those field generators that bend solar wind around itself, is now receiving 400% more power. It hasn't expanded yet, but it's like watching someone pull back a slingshot. The tension is building, and when it releases, we're looking at potential electromagnetic disruption that could knock out satellites and fry communication networks. But Area 3 is the real nightmare fuel. Parts of Atlas that have been completely dormant are now lighting up like a Christmas tree. New systems with unknown functions are all powering up simultaneously, like discovering your neighbor's house has a secret basement with strange lights and sounds coming from it. And here's the kicker that should make your blood run cold. The power increase isn't linear, it's exponential. Every few days, the rate of growth doubles. And if this pattern continues, Atlas will reach unprecedented energy levels in about 2 weeks. We're watching a weapon charge like a capacitor building up to discharge. Now, let's talk about something even more sinister. The scanning, because what Atlas is doing isn't passive observation anymore. It's active reconnaissance and military-grade intelligence gathering. The pattern of what it's scanning should absolutely terrify you. Every major satellite in Earth's orbit has been scanned. GPS satellites that guide your Uber and direct missiles. communication satellites for social media and military coordination, spy satellites, and the International Space Station, all examined with focused energy beams for detailed structural analysis, meaning it knows how they're built and how to break them. But wait, it gets worse. Atlas is scanning Earth's surface, targeting specific locations like major population centers, New York, London, Beijing, Moscow, and military installations like the Pentagon and Strategic Command Centers, along with power plants, data centers, and communication hubs, each scanned multiple times. And here's the part that should make your stomach drop. Nuclear weapons facilities, missile silos, submarine bases, and warhead storage sites have received special attention. This is exactly what you do first to neutralize humanity's ability to fight back. It's reconnaissance before engagement, straight out of military playbook. The scanning pattern reveals something even more disturbing. It's not random or systematic like an automated probe. It's adaptive. Atlas scans certain locations, pauses, then scans different locations based on what it learned, like someone gathering information, sending it for analysis, receiving new instructions, and continuing with more specific intelligence. There's thinking behind this decision-making strategy in real time. Whatever is controlling Atlas is actively managing this operation, learning about our strengths, weaknesses, and critical vulnerabilities with the methodical precision of someone planning an operation where failure is an option. But here's where the nightmare really kicks into high gear. Those 12 objects Atlas deployed, which scientists first thought were probes, have arranged themselves in a perfect dodecahedral formation around Earth's orbital zone, creating a sphere of coverage with no gaps, so that every point in space around Earth is within range of multiple objects with overlap and redundancy. This is textbook military positioning for complete surveillance or weapons coverage, probably both. Each object is roughly 10 to 15 meters across, big enough for serious technology, and they're emitting scanning pulses to track everything in near-Earth space in real time, so nothing moves without Atlas knowing. But they're not just watching. Each object is generating its own electromagnetic field, similar to Atlas's but smaller. And while they're harmless now, these fields can be modulated, strengthened, and synchronized to create energy barriers that could damage satellites or block spacecraft. A blockade made of pure energy, controlled with precision and impossible to bypass. It gets worse. These 12 objects aren't operating independently. They are coordinating their actions with a level of synchronicity that suggests a single, unified intelligence is in command, making them not a swarm, but a networked system where the whole is far more dangerous than the sum of its parts. This formation gives Atlas the potential to project power anywhere on or around Earth simultaneously, meaning there is no safe zone, no place to hide, and no target it cannot reach, turning our entire planet into a potential battlefield with us trapped inside. So what could Atlas actually do? Let's walk through some plausible scenarios based on its demonstrated capabilities. Scenario 1 is infrastructure collapse. Atlas or its objects could synchronize their electromagnetic fields to create a global electromagnetic pulse, frying every unshielded circuit on the planet and sending us back to the pre-industrial age instantly, leading to a cascade of failures where power grids die, water systems fail, transportation halts, and within weeks, society collapses with starvation and death tolls reaching hundreds of millions, all without firing a single shot. Scenario 2 is surgical strikes. Those focused energy beams used for scanning could be weaponized as directed electromagnetic pulses to take down specific targets like power grids, communication hubs, and military command centers simultaneously across continents, causing immediate chaos where emergency services fail, violence erupts, and millions die within days as social order breaks down. Scenario 3, more speculative but possible, is atmospheric disruption. By manipulating electromagnetic fields on a massive scale, Atlas could trigger electromagnetic storms to fry all electronics globally or disrupt weather patterns, leading to climate disruption, agricultural collapse, and potential human extinction from environmental collapse. Finally, the nightmare scenario is kinetic impact. Atlas or its deployed objects could maneuver to hit Earth at high velocity, causing impacts with nuclear-level devastation, earthquakes, tsunamis, and an impact winter that blocks sunlight and collapses global agriculture. A dinosaur-level extinction event that destroys everything we've built. Are these scenarios likely? I don't know, but they're possible given what Atlas has demonstrated, and possibility demands preparation because hope isn't a plan. Assuming the best while ignoring the worst is how species die. So what should we do? First, we need complete transparency from every government, releasing all Atlas data publicly for a species-level response. Second, we must activate every defensive capability, missile defenses, anti-satellite weapons, and space intercept missions to potentially disrupt the deployed objects. Third, we need to harden critical infrastructure with electromagnetic pulse shielding and redundant systems. Fourth, controversially, we need civilian preparation with guidance on emergency supplies for grid-down scenarios. And finally, we must keep trying to communicate peacefully, even as we prepare for conflict. Here's the timeline. Based on energy surge patterns, deployment positioning, and system activation, we have between 2 and 4 weeks before everything synchronizes for whatever comes next. The energy surge hits critical levels in 18 to 21 days. The objects reach optimal positioning in 14 to 16 days, and dormant systems become fully operational in about 3 weeks. This coordination points to a specific operational deadline, and when it hits zero, we'll find out if this is the greatest moment in human history or the last. Place your bets, make your preparations, and hope we're ready, because ready or not, it's coming.